All right, first off, sorry about the camera angle. I'm not going to move it around and getting all that crazy business and see what I can do here. So was the final final setup when they ended the game back in May at CanGames. So I'll try to go over it as much as I can from what I remember anyways, and taking a look at the map and see if we can figure out things. So it ended up, they finished the game, I said called it a day because we ran out of time at the end of turn 5, summer 1916, and we were going to go into this, the turn of winter 1916, 1917. All right, we'll go in the victory points in a minute, and also take a look at the supply points. Like I said, just take a look at the general overview and see if I can remember what was starting to happen and some of the neat little things that I did see. And yet again, I still would love to try to do it if everybody's allowed to do the optional setup, the free setup, rather than the historical setup. And that means the Allies get to move first. And like I said, I would love to see if what would, making that Belgian gambit kind of thing, going towards that thing would be kind of neat to see. One thing at a time, let's get into the actual game, what happened here. So it's 5 points, I do believe, per resource center for the victory points. Let's just go take a look. I'm going to read at the end. And yet again, the Allied player was very gracious at the end because he did not, for example, it says here, in Rule 15.4, automatic Allied blockade award. In both games, as a simulation of the British naval blockade of Germany, the Allies are awarded 75 victory points. Due to the fact that we roughly ended the game, well, we did, halfway through, the Allied player didn't have to do it, but he said, oh, I'll only give you half the points, to kind of reflect that it was only half of what you've been, the economic turmoil that the Central Powers players had to take. So let's just round that off, and let's say 36 points. Would that be right? Hold on here. I haven't done my 72. So let's say 37 points. 38 points. How's that? 38? How's that? We'll go with 38. Yeah, because that would be, 60, 76. Okay. So we'll go with 38 points. Let me write this down because obviously I'm not able to do simple arithmetic right now while dealing with a video and thinking about other things. Okay, hold on here. So we'll go Allied. It's going to get 38 right off the bat, but should get 75. And then the Central Powers is going to get nothing. Kind of. Was there any invasions? Yes, the Greeks, the Allied players did invade Greece. So that gave the Central Powers 5 points. All right. As far as I remember, I think it's been such a long time. Well, obviously, because there's no Greek troops on the map. So therefore, definitely the Allies did invade. That's excellent to remember. Was there any other thing? Did anybody invade? Nope, everybody was okay. Okay, so we got the 5 points. Now I just go and calculate the resource centers. So I'm going to do the Allies first. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20. 25, 30. It looks like that's it, because I don't think the Russians have any. And it certainly didn't, well, like I said, we'll go over the whole thing. So that's plus 30, so that equals 68 victory points. And then we'll go and look at the Central Powers and see what they've got here. So I just wanted to make sure. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75 points. Did I miss these two? I think I did. Okay, so we'll redo the Allied player. We're going to redo them because I know there's nobody down here that has anything that I remember. Like I said, I've used these nice little yellow dots. Let's just do it one more time because I think I may have missed these two here. Maybe 5, 10, 15, 20. No, I didn't. 30. So that was, what, 75 points? I said, plus the, oh my gosh, let's do this again because they got the extra 5 before the invasion of Greece. So that's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, Yep, so they would have 80 points to 68. So the way they were playing the game, the Central Powers were going to win the game, kind of thing. Let's take a look at what I remember and what I can take a look at from the map. Yes, what did I do remember? There was a few times it was kind of going to have to remind myself yet again when I run this game again, to remind people about the fact that Albania is a neutral place and you can't draw lines of supply through neutral sources, neutral states. The Allied player thought they could and ended up getting nailed really bad, lost some troops. I think they lost due to end of the turn, like they got it eliminated due to lack of supply, I do believe, and they were not to be replenished. This is the whole thing. Once you was it the BEF? No, the BEF is way the hell up in Brussels. You could, from what I could see, it did start looking like the Central Powers player was eventually going to wear down, especially when it was starting to look towards with the Russians, as you can see here. The Germans are already in here. My goodness, they're way into here, doing some really good work as far as I can see. Yeah, I'm kind of losing a little. Well, we'll just go over it again. I'm kind of losing track about what's been going on here. So it's been so long, but I want to put it away so I can start doing some other things. All right, so slow down. Let's take a look. So you can see here, yeah, that fortress went. The Belgrade fortress. Over here, you can. The neat thing I did notice is it did start seeing this shift, and I'm like, what an interesting idea. Due to the fact that if a lot of people know that. You know, this is just going to end up being a stalemate, and you can the French player or the Allied player can use the fortresses. There's a lot of fortresses there and a lot of rough terrain, so that certainly helps, especially in wintertime as well. That's even in addition. That really helps the defensive thing. So remember, the one on the left is the offense, and that one's the defense. So if the Italians have the exact same defense as the French, it would be kind of an interesting idea to be at the very beginning of the game, as soon as the Italians are in play, is to start drawing all the French into here, where you want to start actually maybe doing an attack where you actually have an outlet and start like doing like a double-pronged attack, maybe going this away, and actually just allowing the Italians to fill up the Western Front. That would be an interesting concept, because they have the same defensive value. So if I'm not going to mount any attacks, what's the point? That would be kind of cool. I think that would be an interesting concept. I'd like to try to do that. So that, like, yet again, if I was going to, but then that would kind of defeat the purpose for the Belgium gambit. Maybe I would go another way with it then. On a side note, is to take a look at there. But I think you can see here, like, it was slowly. I think the Russians again lost another unit. Well, they're about to yet again here. This is the whole thing. Like you can see, there is a collapse almost imminent, gonna happen here. It was a damn good game. Oh yeah, no, off to the side. Like I said, the Allied player wasn't doing so well here. And like I said, this was an interesting shift to start seeing British troops in Italy and whatnot up here doing some. Like I guess in the long run, what could I say? It was not, well, everybody enjoyed themselves. I certainly did. And now to see just even this tiny little bit of analysis and all these weird wrinkles of, like, you know, Italian troops going towards the Western Front, British troops in Italy, and so on and so forth. I think I can, with such a simple rule system, there's hardly any pages, for goodness sakes. You can see the map isn't very big. The combat system is unbelievably easy to comprehend. It's elegant. This is just one of these beautiful, elegant design games. But then to be able to see players with that small amount be able to use varied decision points and all kinds of interesting things coming about. There's replayability off the charts with this thing. So anyways, I get to put this away, and ironically, this allows me to really clean this off and make sure there's not a single cat hair or anything like that, so I can actually, ironically, for the Central Powers player, I can actually start taping up their board. That's all I have to do. I've got all their pieces done. And the nice thing for them, which he would have preferred was one of his suggestions with my counters was to, for historical purposes, to place the Army designations here, whatnot. I actually did one better due to the fact that Brian R. Smith directed me to a fantastic, I guess the British version of the SPI download site kind of thing. And I was able to get high res versions of this map. And once you see his thing, he got all the, his thing's kind of almost deluxified. Well, hold on, I'll show you the counter. I just got to check, make sure that it's still recording. Oh, looks like it's still recording. Goodness gracious! I'm going to show you his counters. The resolution is so good that I was actually able to use the original counters. So he's going to get a double bonus. He doesn't even have to look at my counters. Hold on, we'll get them. Oh, actually, you'll be able to see part of his high-res map. I'll bring it off to the side so you can see a bit of a difference. Hopefully you can see. So that'll be his. And you can see it's so much clearer. Like the resolution is just really, really nice. I'm really happy with that. So he's going to get a nice little, as you can see, I've made a little, it's kind of like that. And then I did it a la Meandering Mike when he sent me his original copy of the SPI thing. God bless him. And I'll show you the nice counters, which I think, well, I mean, they're not the greatest in the universe, but they're a hell of a lot better than, and you know, I think I might have fiddled with the contrast a little bit. The colors, I'm not really sure, but yet I don't have a proper, but you can, hopefully you can see. Yeah, that's pretty nice. It's an Italian troop. I'll pop it on the little whatever. You can see the difference. So that way, at least that person will be able to actually have the real McCoys. So you can get the original. So I think that'll be nice. So that's that. And then I'm off to, like I said, I'll tape off his board and then I can start doing some other stuff. Anyways, hope you're doing well. Thanks. See you later.